When you partner with Axon, you immediately gain access to a full range of products and solutions designed to meet the complex needs of today's grower. We carry all major brands and sizes of tires and wheels. We specialize in large diameter wheels for large equipment. We have one of the largest OEM replacement wheel inventories in North America. Known for extreme flotation setups, duals, and triples, we have wheels for all makes and models of tractors, sprayers, combines, and grain carts. If we don't have the wheel in stock, we'll custom build, sandblast, and paint in-house. There isn't a more vast inventory in North America dedicated to helping dealers move more iron. With facilities on the West Coast and in the heart of the Midwest, leverage our 230,000 square feet of indoor inventory to solve any problem a grower may have. Move more iron with Axon.
Moving iron.
Hello and welcome to Moving Iron Podcast. This edition of Moving Iron Podcast is brought to you by Fastline Media Group. So I've got Dean Bark here. He's the president of Fastline. Dean, thanks for being on the show, man.
Absolutely, Casey. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this. So we've got a unique marketplace, to say the least, I think, right now, as you take a look what's going on around you. Obviously combines are a big point of conversation, and they always are. They're never not a point of conversation, seems like.
Yeah.
So, Dean, before we get into that, though, let's talk a little bit about who you are, what you do for Fastline, and how you got to where you're at today.
Absolutely. So I'm the president of Fastline. I've been with the organization for about 5.5 years, Casey. I've been in the president role for about 10 months now. Prior to that, I was on the operations side, chief financial officer, and also helped from our manufacturing side of things.
Awesome. Okay. Good deal. So you've been around long enough to know what's going on and doing that. Before you were in Fastline, what'd you do? Where were you at?
Yeah, I was with a couple big companies. I was with Yum Brands, Pizza Hut, Taco Bell.
Sure.
Headquartered here in Louisville. So spent about 6 years over there at Yum Brands. So
right on.
Kind of always been in the food space, ag space to some degree.
Yep. So I'm from Wichita, Kansas. So I remember when Pizza Hut was part of PepsiCo and all that, and down there and their headquarters there in Wichita. So
absolutely, I think they started there in Wichita.
That's right.
Yeah.
Right on. So. Okay, well, good. So let's jump over here and talk a little bit about what Fastline's doing. So we kind of opened up talking about combines and those kind of things, but you hit me with something I wasn't even aware of before we started recording. You guys are sticking your toe into the auction business. So talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, so super exciting. I mean, anybody that knows Fastline for a long period of time knows us as, the catalog company that really was able to kind of go national on the catalog side of things. I think throughout the years, we've really evolved on the digital side. We have a complete digital offering now and rolling out into the auction space. So our first auction the bidding starts on that July 11th. So we're about 2.5 weeks away from that. Super excited about it. Bidding will close on August 1st. So our goal is to get into the online auction space. We're going to probably take it a little slow getting into it. We want to make sure that we're servicing our customers effectively. But we hopes of getting into maybe a bi-weekly auction space moving forward.
Right on. Okay. So first one coming up in August. What's your mix look like? Do you have a lot of tractors, a lot of combine? What's your mix of machines look like?
Yeah, good question. Yeah, I mean, we have a little bit, good little mix of both tractors and combines. Trying to finalize that right now as we speak. As you know, into that space, everybody's trying to wait to the last minute before they jump in, which I don't fault them completely. But we'll have all of that finalized here in the next week and a half. But hoping to have a good mix of tractors, combines, balers. Just all the 9 yards. We're really excited about getting into it. The challenge of doing something new, right? As everybody wants to see how it works before they jump in. So just trying to kind of get everybody comfortable with that. Just by, with some of the things that we can bring to the table that really other auction companies can. I mean, we have the largest audience within the agricultural community. We have over 1 million farmers on our list that are engaged We have over 400,000 social media followers, whether it's Facebook primarily, but also with Instagram and then TikTok. So, just trying to leverage the size and the magnitude of our audience is going to be key to our success long term, in the auction space, I believe.
Yeah. So how's your response been to your first sale so far? You feel like you've gotten a good crowd of people interested in what you guys are doing?
Absolutely. Yeah. So we really just hit send. I would say we wanted to make sure we had some accumulation of equipment.
Sure.
We've got about 50 or 60 lots up there right now. And again, we've got a couple, I've got about a week and a half, 2 weeks to go to finalize that. So we're getting going. We got a pretty good start, but we really just clicked send yesterday, I'd say, so to speak, on really our social media campaigns, really going out with, farmer email blast, dealer email blast, really going to hit social media hard. You'll see some things on Facebook and Instagram over the next couple of days, really trying to encourage bidders to get out there and sign up from a bidding standpoint. That's really the focus now is, we really want to make sure whether it's 200 lots or even if it's just 50 lots, whatever it is on that first auction, we want to make sure that, we're delivering good results for our sellers. Right. And so I think we can do that. We can certainly do that, if we can get and attract the bidders, to come online. And that's really our focus here over the next couple of weeks.
Sure. As you're looking across the spectrum there, I mean, are you partnered up with another auction house? You guys doing this in-house type of deal using proxy bid? Like how does that functionality work?
Yeah, great questions. No, we're doing it all on our own. We had talked about maybe partnering with some other auction companies. We had discussions, but the more we kind of got into it, we've got the knowledge, we've got the expertise on our sales team. We've got folks that had been with large auction companies before, just leveraging that on the sales side of things, and then really going out. We bought and built our own bidding platform. So it's an online, really smooth, very efficient bidding platform. So and again, that's hitting social media right now. So I'd encourage people to go out and try to sign up as a bidder. You'll get to go see our platform, and then once our auction comes live, of course, you'll start to see some of the lots that we've got out there. So going to go at it all by ourselves. We've got a sales team across the country that's going to be engaged, that's going to be focused. I mean, a couple of things I think that's going to hopefully differentiate us on the sales side of things is, we're going to have somebody, boots on the ground, right? So we're going to have somebody out there inspecting every piece of equipment. We've also got a quality department that's going to inspect and to make sure that, the quality of the pictures and everything that's going online is going to be, top notch, right? I mean, we're going to get people comfortable with some of the things that we've got listed online. So really going to try to go at this from multiple different avenues to make sure that we get our sellers comfortable, and then also the buyers comfortable that there's a good quality that you're going to see online with our pictures.
Sure. Okay. As you look at the equipment, just kind of a rough geographical area, do you have stuff from all over the country coming in, or is it more Midwest, South? Where's a lot of your stuff coming from?
Yeah, so starting out, I mean, really, we got a pretty heavy sales presence within the Midwest. Kansas, Oklahoma is probably where we're seeing a good portion of a mix, but also there's some lots coming in from Florida and then the Carolinas. And our goal is really to kind of infiltrate the Southeast pretty hard, as well as the Midwest moving forward. So, I think you'll see snippets of that on this first auction or two, but I think it'll take us a little bit of time to really kind of, build up that entire national presence. But that's absolutely our hope moving forward.
That's a beautiful thing about the online auction space is that it doesn't really matter where it's at. You're selling it on a lot someplace, so you don't have to haul it to one central place or anything like that. So yeah, it makes a big difference in how that bidding takes place for sure.
Yep, true, 100%.
Yeah. All right, so let's talk a little bit about. I'm anxious to watch your first sale here, so I'm ready to see what that looks like. So, so let's talk a little bit about what you see happening out in the marketplace. Like we just kind of started up with, it's unique to say the least. I mean, just kind of looking at some of the age of the equipment that we see out there, how new it is, and the price associated with that. I guess as you're looking at your website and the data that you guys are coming across there, are you seeing a fall off maybe a little bit in some of the later model, lower hour stuff, and seeing maybe some of this 3 and 5 year old stuff starting to pick up and sell? I guess where do you see the sweet spot right now on your site?
Yeah, good question. I would say definitely in that 3 to 5 year spot is really kind of the sweet spot right now. I mean, definitely, we've all been impacted over the last couple of years, obviously with COVID and some of the inventory challenges that were going out in the industry. Starting to see, with anything, I think people kind of make some decisions and kind of overshoot some things, just based off the sheer need of things. So I definitely see some of the used equipment inventory levels starting to increase out there. Definitely,
Yeah.
On the combine side of things right now.
Sure.
So there's a lot of folks that are interested in talking to us about that from an auction standpoint, trying to move some of those
Sure.
right. So
yeah, I've kind of have this about 3 or 4 months ago, I kind of started talking about, hey, we're going to see this August, September, October through the end of the year timeframe where you're going to start seeing some of these combines start showing up, and I'm waiting for it. I mean, we're starting to see the onesie twosies come in. I'm waiting for the dealer that shows up and says, all right, we're going to sell 25 combines today, type of thing.
You're nailing it, and I think it's
Yeah.
coming pretty quick. I mean, just from some conversations that we're having, I think people are building. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, because the onesie twosie things don't really affect the market like one big day event where you go out and dump 25 combines on the marketplace all at one time. And in the grand scheme of things, there's 10,000 some odd combines out there on the market right now.
Sure.
But when you start looking at some of the stuff, my biggest concern I have is not necessarily how many combines are getting sold, but ultimately what they sell for. And I just have these big class 10 and class 11 combines that you see out there right now that are going to come to fruition that are, $700,000+ combines, and they take a 25 or, 30 or 40% hit, and they go from 700 to 500. That has such a ripple effect on all the stuff downstream that what that looks like is going to be such a significant move on the marketplace that it's going to have a complete reset of the market that it's going to hurt. I mean, I thought there's going to be a soft landing on this deal, but the more I look at it, it's going to be painful.
I tend to agree with you, at least from some of the data and some of the conversations that we're having. I mean, it could be painful out there. So that's one of the things we're trying to do, is trying to help, obviously, wherever we possibly can with our dealers, and
sure,
certainly in the auction space.
Sure. So as you look out there now, is there one, other than combines, is there a segment that's starting to stick out to you a little bit? I'm paying attention to 4-wheel drives. I've got this, so I call it bro science type of approach to this, where I've got this 5-year kind of shift between 4-wheel drives and sprayers because of no-till, 3 to 5 years because of no-till. Like, they're switching from tillage to back to spraying, and when sprayers are hot, 4-wheel drives aren't, and when vice versa. So I guess anything out there standing out to you right now other than combines?
Maybe a little bit of that, but no, not at the moment. I think combines is definitely where all the interest is at.
Yeah, that's where everyone's got their definitely got their focus on looking out there. So let's talk a little bit about some of the other trend lines you guys are seeing from a customer standpoint as you guys look at your customer base that are coming into buying. I mean, what's your feel right there? I mean, I know you said that 3 to 5 year old stuff is what's there, but are you looking at more tractors or combines, or what is it that they're interested in right now off your site?
Yeah, right now, I mean, a lot of, as usual, I mean, the majority of our inventory is going to be some type of high tractors, whether it's a low horsepower or high horsepower. So still see a lot of engagement on that side of things. Of course, we talked about the combines, sprayers as well.
Yep. As you're looking out there, do you see any big movement on like tillage pieces or planters at all right now? Where you're seeing maybe some spike up in those? Because just from the sheer fact of, I'll just use planters for example, there's just not that many planters out there. So I didn't know if you saw some more movement in maybe some older planters, looking at maybe doing some upgrades and stuff like that. But is the older planter market something that's of interest to folks right now?
It is absolutely. That's definitely one of the areas that we see some, I mean, one of the things with our data is, right, we can always track just who's coming on our site and what they're looking at. Yeah, we're definitely seeing some uptick in that over the last probably 3-6 months. Yeah,
that's the one thing where I an old planter's now worth maybe a little bit more than it used to be, just because of there's some interest in a 2010 planter that probably wasn't there, whatever, it's 14-year-old, 13-year-old planter, and they're going to tear it back down and make it new again because all that technology is now available pretty much across the board, whether you're talking Deere, Case, Echo, whoever. I mean, that stuff's all there that you can do that. There's a full retro kit kind of service market, I guess is the best way to put it out there. I mean, there's so many different places to go look at that. Are you seeing much at all on the planter side of stuff starting to show up that had been retrofitted? Like maybe there's a bigger percentage of that out there. I don't know if you guys track that or not, but that's something I've been kind of paying attention to here a little bit because it's gained such popularity over the last 2 or 3 years.
Interesting. Now, we don't probably track that as much, so I really probably should, wouldn't be able to give you a good answer on that. But
yeah, that's just because of it. Just seems like there's so much of that going on right now, where there's more folks taking a look at maybe whether it's precision or deer side or whatever it is that they're looking at. But I'm waiting to see those used ones hit the market and see what the used hit the market and put back together again. So it'll be interesting to watch that kind of unfold over the rest
100%.
of the year. Yeah.
Yep.
So let's talk a little bit about some. I know you got the auction stuff going, but let's talk a little bit about some of the data stuff that you have out there and how your customers are using that data.
Absolutely. So, as I mentioned, I mean, we started off, we've been around for 45 years, heavy into the print side of things. And then I'd say probably about 5 to 10 years ago, when the industry started to shift a little bit more on the digital side of things, we were, keenly aware of that. We made millions and millions of dollars from an investment standpoint to really make sure that we were beefed up on the digital side of things. Just started out with some of the basic digital offerings, and then now we've kind of evolved into having the largest suite of digital capabilities in the industry, right? And a lot of people, just similar to the auctions, a lot of people don't think of Fastline in that regard, and they think of us still mostly on the print side, and we're still proud of our catalogs, but yeah, digitally we've come really full circle. So full suite of products, whether it's just basic SEO, PPC type of things that we can offer our dealers. Obviously, we can do website builds. We can do a lot of targeting. We can do a lot of geofencing, georadius type of advertising, for folks as well. And then also we have the ability to, from a pixel-based product, we can tell, some of our dealers exactly, who's coming to their website, with name, address, email information, and then, also be able to kind of show them some of the page paths that they viewed on their customer site. So, that's just another a cool tool, I guess I would say, from a marketing standpoint, for some of the dealers out there to be able to get a little bit more in touch and a little bit more knowledgeable about their audience and who's actually coming to their site looking to shop and buy. Yeah. So those are some of the things digitally that we can offer our customers, and obviously we use those ourselves, with our farmer audience that we have, that we've been able to accumulate over the years.
Yeah, that tracking somebody across the internet and what they're doing has gotten to be such a. I mean, you look at like the Facebooks and the Googles of the world, and how much information they have on what we're doing every day. But just know what that customer's looking at and being able to make that decision on when you start marketing to that person is such a big deal when you're looking at that.
It is, and I think where we've had it for a couple of years, Casey, and I think where it fell short maybe early on was we tried, and part of it was our own fault, candidly, just about being honest. I mean, we would try to couple that, for our dealers with like an email campaign. Let's go see, Casey Seymour's coming to our site. Let's hit him with an email campaign, see if we can gauge his interest. But the challenge with that is everybody gets inundated with emails nowadays. Yeah. I mean, I think the right play is kind of like a combination of a marketing approach. Sure, you can kind of warm folks up maybe with an email, but really I think where the bigger play is maybe is on the direct mail piece that you could kind of offer up with that. We have the ability to do that in-house, and it's very inexpensive, really. From a cost per contact, it's extremely inexpensive. So I think if you couple a full complete marketing program around that, I think that's where that product is super successful. And we have a lot of dealers out there, Deere case that are seeing some good success in that website product.
Yeah. As you take a look at the future of the stuff, what's on the horizon for Fastline right now?
Yeah, really. So right now it's two things. Obviously the auctions, we talked a little bit about that. Super excited about getting that thing going. I mean, like I said, I talked about our audience having like the largest, engaged audience in the space with our farmers, as well as our social media. We also are coming in with the lowest commission rates, no buyer fees, no added fees. So I think we can be really competitive with some of the big players out there. That's our goal, and that's going to be really our focus, I would say, through the end of 23, probably even into Q1 24. We really want to get that set up, offer that service out there, for buyers and sellers to make sure that we're successful there. And then I'd say after that, you've hit it already with just a lot of the questions that you've asked early on. We've got to, we're pretty good at the moment. We got to get better on our data, right? I mean, we're at a, we've got a treasure trove of data that we're sitting on at our fingertips, just for the folks coming to our site, our reader listing, and you're just being able to glean better insights from that information, just so we can provide that service out to our dealers, of course, but then also to the farmers. There's lots of things that we can show trends on, what the most popular items are coming on our site. And I think that that's something that you'll see us move into in 24 a little bit further along than what we've got right now, just providing that service to the farmers and the dealers. I'd say those two things, data, obviously, and then the auctions is really where you're going to see us moving forward. And then to continue to beef up our capabilities just with digital marketing, and then also supporting print. But we still have, believe it or not, we still have 19 catalogs all across the country. Every edition, we mail out about 225,000 catalogs. We hit about 4 million catalogs a year. So we still have a heavy print presence that we want to continue to support as well.
Yep. That's the thing about, people think digital is dead, and it's not nearly what it was 20 years ago, but it's still there, and it's still fighting around.
It is. It's funny. And there's still connectivity issues out there. Today I was driving over to Virginia, just here in the area, and it's kind of in the mountain area. I mean, phone dropped 3-4 times, and it's like, so there are still some connectivity areas out there that print can play. And I think, using data, we can also still be successful on the print side of things to make sure we're targeting certain radiuses for our dealer base, for our customers. So I think you've got to have some type of an integrated marketing approach in order to be successful. Digital is where you're going to get your instantaneous results. I'm not going to dispute that or argue that, but I think a complemented marketing approach, I think, is where you're ultimately going to be the most successful.
Absolutely, for sure. All right, Dean, good stuff, man. What's the best way for people to get a hold of Fastline? Is there a place to go look up your rep or someplace like that? What's the best way to do that?
Yeah, appreciate it. So a couple of different places. I mean, obviously our marketplace online is fastline.com. We have about 115,000 pieces of equipment online there. We also have fastlinemarketinggroup.com is our site that talks more about all the products and offerings that we have, capabilities that we have. And then, of course, social media. Hit us on Facebook. You'll see us on Fastline. You hit us on TikTok as well as Instagram. All of those places out there. If you look just Fastline, that's where you're going to find us. And I really appreciate the opportunity.
Yeah. Dean, I appreciate you being on, man. And I look forward to meeting you down in Nashville coming up here. You guys are going to have a booth down there. So folks around there want to get some more information about what you're doing at Fastline. I'm sure you'll have a spread there that everyone can kind of see what you guys are doing, right?
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Looking forward to getting down there and meeting you, and then getting down there in Nashville there in September. So super excited about that.
All right, Dean. Well, I appreciate you taking the time to be on the podcast, man.
Yep. Thanks, Casey. Appreciate it.
Right on. I'm Casey Seymour with Moving Iron Podcast. Check me out on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Moving Iron LLC. Go to LinkedIn at Moving Iron Podcast. Check out the video version over on our YouTube channel, which is the Moving Iron Podcast YouTube channel. Check that out there. More information about the Moving Iron Summit, go to MovingIronLLC.com. All the information is there. Or you can send me an email at MovingIronPodcast at MovingIronPodcast.com. If you want to take advantage of the $50 rebate from the folks over at Axon, be one of the first 150 people to sign up, and you'll get that taken care of. So with that, I'm Casey Seymour with Dean Bark. It's going to be smart, folks. Out.
Moving iron in the 21st century.